What's up, sports fans? It's your boy, the Black Andy Cat. We're back for another episode of These Three Things. Like and subscribe. Guess what? Guess what happens next week? All right, Monday, we're gonna have the Orlando Magic jumping into the fray with Media Day. That means offseason camp is starting. We're gonna have preseason basketball very soon. That means the NBA will be kicking off late October. So it's time to dig in, baby, and get into NBA basketball. So I'm excited about what the Magic. I'm a big Magic fan. You know, I'm always an open book in terms of who I root for. I try not to be a homer when I give my takes. So I'll say that as well. But I'm also going to tell you who I'm rooting for, and I'm a big Magic fan. I've been a Magic fan since day one, since the day the team was incepted. All right, I've been there. So I've been rooting for this squad, been through the tough times, been through the two finals sweeps, tough times, and so we're back again with new hope with P5, right? Paulo Banchero going to be the guy to take us there. So some big offseason moves, right? Tyus Jones added to the squad, right? Made a big moves at guard, right? So Tyus Jones was actually the last guy that we had added, right? So some big moves at guard, some big moves to make what I felt made this team better. All right, this team's much better. I know a lot of people don't necessarily believe that. I think that Weltman did the right thing. He pushed his chips in. He said, "Hey, we got to go now," and he has to, right? Because if he doesn't, Banchero's not going to stick around for the next contract. He'll ride this one out, or he'll just say, "Hey, I want to trade," right? So people's like, well, nah, he just signed, he just re-upped. Yeah, he re-upped so he can get his maximum contract, right? He's got the max money now. Things don't go well, right? If they don't go out and sign the right people, if things don't look good, Banchero can come back and say, "How I want to trade," right? And then you got to give him up. You got to do what you got to do. So I think Weltman did the right thing by pushing in all his chips, went out and got Desmond Bane, right? It was the first big move. Then he got Tyus Jones. So we're ready, baby. I like what he did. It's time to put up or shut up, and that's what's going on with the Magic right now. Put up or shut up time. But there's three things about the upcoming season that I'm thinking about when I think about the Orlando Magic. All right. Thing number one, P5. How does Paulo Banchero's role change? Is he going to play a little different? Up to now, he's been handling the ball. He gets the ball up top. They build this wall, right? And he tries to drive in, and then he gets like quadruple and quintuple teamed, and he has to try and make a pass in tough traffic. And that's one of the problems. There was nobody to help him. There was no outside shooting to get him, to free up and clear and open the lane. So does that change with Desmond Bane, right? With Bane out there, now you got someone, not necessarily who's a three-point shooter, but you got somebody who's a scoring threat. And I'm looking at this offensively now. If Banchero plays closer to the lane, right? He plays at the nail, plays at the corners, he plays at the post, right? Maybe gets the ball down there, and now he's turning, right? He's got that great turnaround jumper that he shoots from the baseline, right? That he shoots like about 5 feet off of the block. Now, if you got Bane outside, right now, people can't necessarily double team him because he can kick that ball back out, and now Bane can make something happen, right? Bane can drive. He can drive to the bucket. He's not a bad three-point shooter, right? And he's got a little bit of a mid-range game as well. So does it change how P5 plays this season? Does he play a little more inside out and not so exclusively where he has to handle the ball from the outside and always try and work his way in or dump the ball off? I'm excited to see that what changes come, right? Got a new offensive coach on the staff, right? Does he start to change how P5 plays? I expect P5 to play a little differently, right? I think he's going to play some more inside-out basketball. I think they're going to use him as the guy to free up some room on the outside for people to drive and take some mid-range shots, right? So you got to recognize his power, so to speak, right? So now the Magic are still a little weak in the front court, right? We don't have much going on in terms of forward and center, right? How much can Jonathan Isaac give you? Can he give you, sixth-man, seventh-man minutes, right? Wendell Carter Jr., a lot of people upset with how Wendell Carter's been playing, as of late. They, want to get rid of him. But things may change, now, I think, with a new offensive coach on staff. let's see how the offense looks. I think the offense is going to look much different. I think it's going to start with P5 not having to or not handling the ball as much up top and maybe getting the ball somewhere closer to the paint. Thing number 2 about the Magic upcoming season, rotations. What's going to happen to the rotations now, right? Before, Franz would be the top dude on that second rotation. He'd be out there with AB, right? And that it didn't. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. But now your rotations are different, right? Does Bane come on, or does Bane stay in with that second team? And does he get minutes, or does he come in with Paulo, right? Or is it Franz and Bane, right? Or where does AB fit in now, right? This is another big question. Where does AB fit in into the big picture? Jalen Suggs, right? Who's he rotating with, right? We've taken some of the offensive pressure off of Suggs now that you have Bane. Now you can play Bane and Suggs together, right? Do you put those 3 together with Franz, right? Does Franz play with those 3? Does he play with Suggs and AB? And again, where does AB fit in here? AB's looking a little thin, right? Does AB move to the 2? Because he was playing, he was playing point guard, trying to learn the position a little bit, trying to get a little better at the position. He didn't suck at it, but does he kind of move to the 2? Or how much ball handling does he get? Or how much because Tyus Jones is now a part of the mix, right? So AB might be that piece that you float out there at the trade deadline, right? The midseason trade deadline. AB might be that piece that dangles out there to add that little extra you might need to get over the hump in the playoffs. Very interesting how the rotations are going to work out now that the Magic have made their moves. I'm very interested to see how that works out. Thing number three. What is Franz going to do this season, right? Franz has looked good during the regular season, but he gets in the playoffs and he starts in tough games and clutch games, he starts to disappear. Now that we have Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones, again, like I said in thing number 1, does it take some of the pressure off of him to have to handle the ball and do everything, right? So now he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands, right? So now there's somebody else who can create and maybe open up space. And then you put him with Tyus Jones and Tyus Jones and P5, right? How does that work out? Does that give him a little more confidence that he doesn't have to do everything, right? Wendell Carter, Desmond Bane, and Franz. How does that, it goes back to thing number 2. What do the lineups look like, right? So I'm interested to see how Franz changes. What happens with Franz? Does he get better with the extra help, or does he not get better? Does Franz become that little piece we dangle out there maybe to get something better to get us over the hump? Weltman's pushed all his chips in. Does he say, hey, I think I can get something better than Franz? People are going to scream and yell at me and be mad about that, but I think Franz could potentially, for the right deal, Franz could be that dude that you hang out there and say, hey, I think if there's a piece that you think makes you a winner, makes you a top 1 or 2 contender for the championship, do you dangle Franz out there and go for broke for the next season or the next 2 seasons? It's a good, lot can happen now that you got Baines in here. I know some people think I'm overvaluing Bane. I'm not. I think Bane is a huge pickup. I think he adds so much to this team. He opens up a great deal because he brings something that this team missed: a guy who can score off the dribble, a guy who can handle the ball, and a guy who can dish and knows how to play with superstars. Right? He knows how to play with a superstar. He's done that with Ja, right? And other big names. So it's an exciting season coming up, right? I kind of feel like, again, we're back to that, like last season. That's how we felt. Hey, we're all in. It's all or nothing. I think expectations should be a little higher this season. I think it's all or none for the Magic right now. I think the Magic have to get past the first round this season. If they don't, heads are going to have to roll. I think if the Magic don't get past the first round this season, I think Mosely gets clipped, right? Not because I think he's a bad coach, but somebody, you got to blame somebody, right? So that's usually what happens in these situations. Look what happened with New York. Big mistake, by the way, in New York. They got rid of a championship coach, guy knew how to win, and what did you bring in, right? I don't know what's going on there. So See, even though they got tons of talent, I think they made a mistake that gives the Magic an advantage up in New York by getting rid of their coach. So there you go. 3 things about the Orlando Magic coming into the 2025 season. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Got talent. No more excuses, brother. It's time to put up or shut up. Holla at me in the comments. Subscribe. Like the video. Peace.